All right, sorry for the delay. Our next speaker is the host and executive producer of Shooting Gallery, The Best Defense, executive producer of Cowboys, and executive producer of Best Defense Survival, all television shows on the Outdoor Channel. You can go on the Outdoor Channel and get more information. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to introduce Mr. Michael Bane.
I hope at least some of you are tuning in every Wednesday night for Wednesday Night at the Range. With Shooting Gallery and other shows, The Best Defense. I just wanted to give you a little insight about how those shows were originally created. I went to the Outdoor Channel and said, I want to do a shooting show unlike anything else that you've seen before. Because I come out of the shooting culture. I'm not a carpetbagger who dropped in, came in from space. Been shooting my whole life, been hunting my whole life. And I want to do a really special show. And Outdoor Channel said, you know anything about television? I said, not a thing. They said, well, who's going to host? I said, I'll host. I said, you know anything about hosting? I said, not a thing. And they said, you got 3 shows, go hang yourself. And that was 10 seasons ago, and Shooting Gallery is still rocking along. Best Defense is rocking along. And I like to think that it's because of you guys. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to be here. I think it was important to be here to share this with all of you, because I think we represent the most dynamic and the fastest growing culture in America. At SHOT Show this year, a member of the mainstream media got in touch with the Outdoor Channel and said, would it be okay if I interviewed Mr. Bane for a book? Because I'm writing a book about the gun culture. It's like mainstream media, right? And it's sort of like Margaret Mead and the Samoans. We want to get into this like weird tribe and see what it is exactly you natives out there are doing. And I said I'd be more than happy to do that with you. I'd be happy to share some time with you and talk about the gun culture. And we sat down. The first question out of the box is, he said, yeah, I looked you up on Google. I've read one of your books. You're a really smart guy. You can't tell me that you actually believe that there's a gun culture in the United States and that it's a separate culture. And I said, well, golly, not only do I believe there's a gun culture in the United States, but quite frankly, we are the better culture in the United States. Point number 1. We are a culture that is founded in personal responsibility. That is the essence of concealed carry. We have said that we will take responsibility for our lives, for our safety, for the people in our care. That is an important point. And that mainstream culture, this culture that you profess, you lost personal responsibility a long time ago. You're a culture of victims. You're a culture of victimhood. Secondly, we are a culture founded in the words of our founders, in the greatest document ever written by man, and that's the Constitution of the United States. You know, the amazing thing about the gun culture is we believe in all 10 of the Bill of Rights. Unlike the ACLU, which when they count to 10, they go 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We actually count all of them. We believe that the Second Amendment is the amendment that guarantees the other 9. And he actually laughed at me at that point, because you can't really believe that. Said, well, why don't you point to me another country that doesn't have a Second Amendment that's still around after a couple of 100 years? Said, finally, the culture that we're from, the gun culture, my culture, our culture, we don't think that words like courage and honor and responsibility are the punchlines to dirty jokes. So we believe, those are things we believe in, and those are things that are a part of our lives. And he kind of looked at me and he goes, anything else, Mr. Bane? I said, yes, and here's the most important point. We're winning. Your culture is dead. Your culture is a dead end, and my culture is winning. I was privileged to be involved in the concealed carry fight in Florida in the mid-'80s, and boy, I got to tell you, we thought it was a long shot. You know, we worked hard for it, but we're thinking, oh, this is never going to work. And not only has it worked, but it has spread completely across the country. And I think that that is part and parcel of what I think of as gun culture version 2.0, and that's us. We're the culture that is rooted in self-defense. We're rooted in concealed carry. We're rooted in competition. We shoot a lot. This morning, a survey came out from the National Shooting Sports Foundation that said, and this will be a shock to all of you, and so be surprised, people with AR-15s shoot more than anybody else in the country. What a surprise. Count shocked. But we are a different gun culture. We're a more aggressive gun culture, and that is specifically why we're winning. I was flying back last week from Wyoming, and it was spring break and universities in Wyoming, and the plane was full of college kids headed south. And in front of me there were 4 seniors and 2 women, 2 men, and they're talking, and basically I don't hear young people anymore. I know some of you older people actually have that problem along with me. It's kind of sounds like noise, but they're talking, and I realized what they were talking about is they all just turned 21, and all of them had applied for their concealed carry permit. And I thought, we have finally, when college students talk about concealed carry, we have hip. I live in Colorado, which is one of the speakers before said. Colorado law now says, hey, it turns out that the university of campuses in Colorado are actually part of the state. My permit says good statewide. So I think that is a great thing to see those changes. Another important point, it's a survey that's going to be coming out in recent weeks, but one of the biggest issues I think we all face is where to shoot. We need more ranges, because when we bring in millions of people in the Obama bubble, and thank you there, Hussein, for bringing in all those new shooters. When we bring in new shooters, we got to put them on a range. We need to train them. We need to shoot, and shooting's fun. That's what we do. I have been talking to the National Shooting Sports Foundation. What we've been talking about is the Pittman-Robertson excise tax. We all pay 11%, guns, ammunition, accessories. Typically, that money has gone out into wildlife, into issues like that. NSSF is now looking at comprehensive analysis of what the range needs are in every state and how we can allocate the taxes that we pay to build those ranges. And we're going to build those ranges because I'm going to annoy them until they finally do that. What I said to them was in 1775, taxation without representation was an issue. It remains an issue. If you tax us, you got to put those funds to where they do us the most good, and that is on ranges. So key thing, I think that if you keep watching Outdoor Channel, and I have to give Outdoor Channel credit, because I would never put me on television, just that alone. But one of the things that they've allowed me to do is they've allowed me to cover shooting the way I want to cover it. And if you've seen Shooting Gallery, you've seen The Best Defense, you see something different under the sun. When I first rolled those shows out, there was no other shooting shows that covered concealed carry. There was no other shooting shows that covered civilian self-defense. They all said, well, maybe we don't want to show those things. And my response was, why not? It's what we do. We need to put those things out there, and we need to get more people to do it. I think the strangest thing about this whole experience, I love being out here, I love seeing you guys, but I feel lost without my gun. I mean, I can't believe that I come to my nation's capital, and I have to leave my gun at home. It's just wrong. And I think in the end, the concealed carry movement sweeps over the Western America. For all you poor guys in Wisconsin and Illinois, even in New Jersey, I was talking to a guy in New Jersey, he goes, New Jersey is not really in the United States, right? It's coming. Change is coming, and we're going to keep pushing until we get that change. I wanted to have some sort of like Boffo ending. Like, hey, okay, here's a Boffo ending, and I don't have one. But I thought I might crib something from my friend Wade Kimes, who's a country singer. And I promise you I will not sing, because if I did, you guys would be sprinting toward the Washington Memorial. But a few years ago, Wade wrote a song called In Our Land. And the last verse is worth listening to again and again and again. And that verse is, here I stand with my gun, born free, native son. The blood in my veins runs American. Here I stand in my land with my gun. And my friends, that is what we're doing here. We're sending a message to America. And thank all of you for being here.